did an episode with a colleague of mine. She's a disability liaison officer, and she mentioned something that was very, like I picked out something from that episode. She said that when you don't include, or when you don't think about the people living with disability in the society, in everything that you're doing, in your building, in your designing, from infrastructure and everything else, if you don't think about the people living with disability, then you're doing yourself a disservice. So she said, most people are born, we are born normal, and then things happen along the way. I've had this said by several people, but I for some reason, and this is the most interesting bit, I never thought that this thing had happened to me or it was right at home, So today, my guest is my mom. I'm super excited to have her on board, and she's going to tell us her story, or we are going to tell our experience of how we encountered, like we were all able-bodied people, and how we had an incident that led us to where we are today. So karibu mom, do you want to introduce yourself?
Asante. Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Mary Nyakato, Mabonga. I am a mother. I'm a wife.
Yes.
And a mother of 5. A grandmother.
Yes.
Of a good number. Yeah.
A business lady.
Yeah, I've been a business lady for a long time. Even before I got an accident, or before I became what I am now. I was a business lady, though I'm still trying to be in the market, but a bit slow.
Yeah.
It can't be as it used to be. That's who I am, and I'm grateful to be.
Thank you, Mom. So, guys, it was, I'll go straight to the point. Was it 2009? 2009. We just finished school. My mom has always been in business, so she travels. She used to travel a lot, and she used to sell merchandise across. I was told it was called cross-border trading. So she used to do a lot of cross-border trading. And so once she asked me to accompany her to her rounds, to one of the trips. So Mom, would you like to tell us how it was? Use any language, English, Kiswahili.
Fine.
Yeah. So tuambie, tell us how it was.
Okay. That time I was going for my business trip, and my daughter here, she was in her vacation. I wanted her to go and experience what I go through as I travel, because sometimes they just see things happening, they think maybe it is that easy.
Yeah.
So I wanted her to escort me and learn some vitu vile kuendelea, ugumu wa maisha ama urahisi wa maisha. Tulitembea salama, and she really enjoyed the trip. Sababu pale tulikuwa before the accident or the incident, she enjoyed, because alikuwa ananiambia, mama, hata mimi nitafanya hivi. Sababu tulipofika huko challenge ile nilimpatia, alikuwa na receive money.
I mean, nani anaweza jump ku receive money? As the cashier.
She was the cashier of the day. Sasa alikuwa amefurahi. Okay, tulipomaliza biashara yetu, after a few days, as we are coming back, tukiwa tumefurahi sana, tulingoja basi kwa muda, ikawa basi ilichelewa ile tulitarajia kupanda. Basi ilipokuja, ile ilikuja, kwa sababu hao watu walikuwa wamenizoea, so they secured us some seats. Tukaingia tukaketi pamoja. Tulipoketi pamoja, all of a sudden mtu mwingine akatokea akaclaim seat yake hiyo tulikuwa tumeketi. Literally, do we know God alikuwa anataka kutusave kwa njia nyingine. Hao conductor wa basi akasema, mama usiargue na yeye, wacha nimpatie your daughter another seat. So that's how tuliketi in seats tofauti. And I always remember that and thank God for that. Tulianza mwendo salama, tukatembea. Tulikuwa tumebakisha kama nusu, between 45 to 1 na tufike. Mchana tu tukiangalia, katokea tu jambo kidogo ambayo ilitufikisha mahali tuko saa hii. Nilikuwa nimeketi nyuma ya driver, ninaangalia barabara vizuri, niliona kile kilifanyika vizuri. Nissan ilitokea upande wa right, upande wa left, ikameka U-turn kwa barabara. So this driver ni kama alikuwa absent minded, alishtukia tu akaanza kupanic. Alipoanza kupanic, that's
how we roll. And it was raining, remember?
It was drizzling. Yeah. It was drizzling. So the road were slippery, a bit slippery. Hivyo tu alianza kusway kwa barabara akijaribu kuhold. Ndio hivyo. Basi ikamshinda, ikaroli, ikatuangusha. So mimi nilifunga macho, nilikuwa naomba sababu niliona kama atamaliza watu wote. And I thank God alisikia maombi. Yes, watu walikufa, but at least kuna wale walibakia. Mimi pale basi ilinitupa na ikanilalia. Ilipo nilalia kule chini ya basi kwa najijua. So hapa labda wewe waliyebakia macho hapa ni wewe unajua kile kile.
I go and when I started looking for you. Yeah, so of course after that incident where we were all thrown, hata mimi nilirushwa kivyangu, half out, half in. I woke up, and of course, you know, watching a lot of movies affects how we handle such moments. Because for me, when I woke up and I saw the bus half up, and me, I'm on the ground, but I can see I don't know, I think I was thrown out through the window. So when I woke up and saw that, I was like, I have to wake up from here. Otherwise, next thing, inalilalia kabisa. So the urgency. And my phone was in my pocket and I was listening to music. I had my earphones on. So I remember I really pulled myself out of, apparently I was stuck. I was stuck in between hizi chuma za viti. So I really pulled myself out of the seats. And then I went looking for my mom, of course. So I started, I'm seeing everything is everywhere. You can imagine the luggage, bags, clothes are strewn all over, people's handbags, nini. So I started looking for my mom. I was trying to remember the dress she had on. So I tried, and since we were seated, we were actually on different aisles. So you were like on the other side, na mimi niko hii side. So I woke up, of course, after I pulled myself out, shoes zilibaki, nini, but anyway, so I went looking for her. So I looked for her dress, I looked for her, and the default language, we were in UG, we didn't say we were in UG, we were in UG, and tuko past Kampala. So mi naongea Kiswahili. Nasema mama yangu. So nasikia tu watu wakisema anatafuta mama yake. So mimi natafuta mama yangu. So finally I found her and I found her thrown and sort of ulipigishwa somersault tukarushwa nje. So yeah, of course nika try sikuweza kumtoa hapo peke yangu. I had to call for help for people to help me to remove her from there. So I removed her from there. I remember seeing, I was met with the hands. The hands were all, like, one was completely shattered, minced meat shattered. Na iko huku, ziko huku. Like ulipigishwa somersault. Ni kama hapa ndo kulikuwa sijui. I don't know how to explain. But yeah, so I asked for help. People came, they helped to remove her from there. And then now to look for means of getting out of there. So of course we really looked for, tunasimamisha magari zinapita. And I also happened to find your handbag. Hiyo ndio ilituokolea. Na vile tu nilipata mtu akitry kuiba. Nika of course it's like you're doing what? Fighting for your life. There's your handbag there. Then people are actually stealing from the scene of the accident. So unapata mtu nikamwambia wewe hiyo ni bagi yetu, hebu leta. Unajua unashindwa ni mtu utaokoa, ni watu utasaidia ama ni handbags utasave. Anyway, so I finally saw our handbag. Those are the only things we left with from there. And we looked for help. We happened to find a van and we left. So anyway, on the way, I call my dad, I call home. I try to reach out to them. I tell them we've been in an accident and we need help. So me, I just tell my dad, you have to listen to this. I told him, airlift us. Movies again. I thought life was that simple. Niko, daddy, airlift us from here. Mami ameumia. So I don't know, I think kulikuwa na shida ya network. Because he said he saw a text. Nikimweka kwa hiyo Nissan, kwa hiyo van, ananiambia mom, wacha tu nikufe. Acha tu nikufe. Na mbona unakufa nini we? Bado uko alive, tunaenda hosi. So we were really, the van is moving and to rush hosi. Ikatufikisha hospitali. The first hospital we got there, then we are being told to go through all these processes before, and it was like a small clinic here, village. The accident happened like at around 2 p.m., right? By the time we're getting in a hospital and being attended to, the first hospital, it's around like 4. Then by the time we're like, we cannot get help here, of course now we were told to look for, buy your own IV drip, buy your own stuff. Anyway, the long and short of it, we struggled. We got to a real hospital at 7 p.m. the same day, now in the evening. Now this is town, Kampala and all that. So still hoping to get service in a rush, but we didn't know how hard, when you've gotten an accident, you think whatever you're seeing is the issue. So at the time we are just thinking it's the 2 hands. So I'm just telling people, kwa ile hospitali ya kwanza alifungiwa some sort of bandage. But I'm telling everyone.
You asked to buy bed sheets. You bought a pair of bed sheets, so they wrapped with a bed sheet.
Yeah, before we entered the second ambulance. So you're there, money is being demanded from you. So unagombana na daktari na watu wanakutuma ununue vitu from a village you do not know. Buy an IV drip. You're almost being told to buy blood for yourself. Anyway, yeah, I did. I bought bed sheets and that's how we transported. No, tukakufungia mkono tukaweka kwa kifua. Little did we know that we were hurting you more. But now that we put that hand on your chest, we are told you can't be moved. And as we don't know we are hurting you, of course now we found out later about the broken, was it
ribs,
punctured lungs, broken ribs and all
lungs, so my intestines have come up.
Yeah. So after the surgeon came, she had to be admitted to the ICU, and she stayed there because nothing could have happened. These are so many hours after the accident, and she stayed there for several days.
Weeks.
Yeah, before she got out. Anyway, so this is the bombshell now. So before she was admitted to the ICU, I was called by the orthopedic surgeon and I was asked to sign some documents, which is, I thought, yeah, right? Because we thought theater ataenda kurudishiwa, the hand that was, this hand that I kept singing, it's completely shattered. But now the doctor was asking me, and alikuwa nasema, mkono imeoza kabisa. Like it stayed for so long without blood, I have to sign for it to be cut. Now that was sort of the moment of truth. But at the time I'm thinking, okay, I'll sign because ni mkono ndio angaliwe every other thing, that I have to sign that. So that cannot be a hindrance. So of course relatives are just saying no, usisign, mkono iwezi katwa, but I'm like, hatuwezi postpone treatment sahi. Pali tumefika, it was so bad, I had to make the decision. Now that's when, now my dad huko across akajua the weight of the matter. Like, so ulisema tu mkono imevunjika. Nikamwambia, nilisema imekatika, imeshikiliwa tu na kaskin. Okay, sometimes you try to express yourself hata upati words. So he was like, ama sasa tufanye hiyo airlifting, tulete Aga Khan. Nikamwambia iko wapi time? Like the lady had gone. Hakuna time. Nikamwambia acha tu mimi ni sign kitu. At least aonekane, apatiwe damu, afanywe other things. So I signed the document, and yeah, of course, wailing and crying. And she was wheeled in the theater, because at the time they even realized they can't even take her to theater before blood transfusion. She'd lost a lot of it and all that. And later on also, even the surgery was postponed because we didn't know the lungs were punctured, so she couldn't even breathe at that time. That we said the broken ribs. Apparently there was internal bleeding. All these things were found out after I, signed that document when she was taken to the ICU. Yeah. So after that, several days, none of us could see you. I was the only one who was allowed to enter, like three of us. One, like breakfast, lunch, and supper, almost. So we could enter, see her, talk to her. She had pipes all over. Others taking things in, removing things out. It was really, really bad. But a few days later, when they finally did the surgery, and you were wheeled out, and I was told now we had to cut the hand. We had to amputate. That's the word they're using. We had to amputate the hand. And they were giving me advice of how to explain to her or tell her the whole story of how it happened. So immediately she woke up. I was like, Mom, do you remember? She was like, yeah, I saw the whole accident. I saw how it happened. Nini. But sasa nikamuuliza, unajua wamekukata mkono. Did you know? All this time, did you know? Did you know how the hands, how they were?
Yeah, I told you, I know. Even before you explained to me, as they were asking you, could they come? Now she's awake, come and tell her. I told you, I know everything. Whatever has gone on, I know.
You were listening.
Yeah,
Could you hear
because
rather?
now that's how I came to know people die while they are hearing. They hear everything, though they cannot respond. They do hear, because I was hearing everything.
All those days. Okay.
I was hearing everything that was going on, even as the doctors were arguing. I could hear what they are saying.
Yeah.
So
when you woke up and your hand was cut, it wasn't a shock for you?
I don't think it was a shock, because I just...
Yeah, you just accepted. Wow. So yeah, of course after that it wasn't like we are home and dry. We stayed in the hospital for several other days, and there were procedures being done. So there was a lot of cleaning going on the same... After the amputation, there was a lot of cleaning going on around there. And then, so that process, that painful process of cleaning every other day. And then there was another one where they removed the skin from here and put it here. They told me now they had to do that, what was it called? Skin grafting. So that they cover, because the hand was really open, so that they cover the hand and all that. Anyway. So the point is, Mom, how did you take it after the whole thing? Of course, it's been a whole process, and it hasn't been easy.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. At first, it was just like a joke. I thank God because He knows how to move you from one step to another. Because when I was in hospital, I think you can remember I was always happy.
We were very happy.
I was always happy, laughing. Even I was surprising all other patients in the hospital and their visitors. They could wonder why we were always laughing at our bed in our room. I was always happy because I was grateful that I'm alive. All I was, I'm alive, I'm alive.
That's all that mattered.
That's what mattered by then. And again, in my mind, I was like, since I'm alive, God knows what next. If He'll bring another hand and fix it here, me, I don't know. Since He has survived me death, He knows what next. So that's what kept me happy. And I thank God because it made me heal fast.
Okay.
Because of that happiness, it made me heal faster. From there now, it was a journey.
Yeah.
From there it was a journey because it was never business as usual. Now you had two hands, and the hand now, the right hand that was amputated, I was a right-handed person. Even the left hand by itself was affected.
It was affected.
It was
it was sort of ignored.
Yeah.
Because we were trying to. So it was ignored, and it also had its own challenges.
Yeah, because the doctors didn't see me surviving. They admitted while we were in the ward. They came and admit, you are just a miracle, because we ran away the whole night hoping that we'll find you dead. Even the one who
I remember when you
poked somewhere.
The internal bleeding, when they had to release the pressure.
So this one said, I was poking like a dead body. I didn't even inject you anything. I just did it.
They put the pipes
I
in.
didn't know. So, but I didn't feel bad because it was kind of a testimony. They were giving testimony how they saved my life. And I was like, okay, if that's how God wanted me to be saved, I'm grateful. But from there now,
coming back home, I remember coming back home was quite a challenge.
Because I could not walk, my pelvic was open. I could not walk. They did some physiotherapy because they said there is no way they could have put up plaster or any other treatment on a pelvic bone. So, yeah.
We had to go on with physiotherapy. Even after coming back, now we had to go on with hospital visits.
Yeah.
I remember we had to go back in for 2 surgeries. For the left hand. Now the left hand that had remained, that was completely ignored, also was affected during the accident, but no one paid attention to it. Like you hear, the doctors didn't expect her to make it. So when we came back, it had to be done, the corrective surgeries. So, and that's where I think we were all, we thought we had finished the whole hospital scene. So coming back and having to go back to hospital those 2 times, and now since the dynamics have changed, there's no way you could be allowed to go to hospital alone, to be hospitalized alone. Even here in Kenya.
Yeah.
While UG, that's allowed. It's sort of a policy. You come, you have to have your relative there. Like your relative literally sleeps with you down there on the floor. Everyone, they have mattresses. You sleep right next to your person. You attend to them, blah blah blah. And the nurses are there. I think for me it was something new. I had never experienced that. But now coming back to Kenya after this new incidents, and she had to go to do corrective surgery, and she was allowed, like there's no way she could sleep alone. She can't even shoo a mosquito away, put the mosquito net down, put it back up, do those things for the bed, lifting the bed up,
even feeding myself.
Yeah, even feeding yourself. So
could not feed myself.
We always had to be admitted pamoja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even going to the washroom,
oh yeah, true.
I needed someone to support me to do everything for me.
Yeah. So that was the 2 times it was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
Because we always expected the hand to, be okay, then not okay. Then now we go back again. And it had all these metallic things, chumas za kucorrect bones.
We used to call them aerial.
Tulikuwa tunazita aerial. Like hata ilikuwa inakaa kama aerial ya Go TV. Oops, sorry. So anyway, stayed with those ones. Then finally zikatolewa. And you were able to do 1, 2, 3 things, but still. So the challenge of learning to use your left hand, not having the right hand, and navigating even in your bedroom. How hard or easy was it?
It was hard, and it is still hard somehow. Though I'm learning, I'm picking slowly, but it is still hard. It has never come back to normal.
Yeah.
Because even the hand now, up to today, still on there is a need for it to go and
Be checked.
Amended again. Yeah. So I didn't know how tough it is, or to change to learn to use a left hand, to learn to write.
To sign. Did you learn how to sign? I left you.
Just even writing a 0. It made me appreciate a teacher who taught me. I didn't know it was that hard. Writing a 0 was so... I could try to make a 0. It is like a Madhogodhanyu, it's up and down. It's like a 6. Feeding myself. Even up to today, I still soil myself with food. It's not easy. It wasn't easy, and it's not easy. It has never been easy. Though I thank God, because, okay, I could reach at a point I feel heartbroken, I feel I'm down. Especially with house girls, when you see someone and na kuonyesha madharau, you think of what you used to be. Na msichana ni msichana na mlipa, lakini akifika kwa nyumba akiangalia watoto wangu hawako around na nini, ananionyesha madharau, inanifanya nalia.
How did you go on to, because I know you're registered. Right now you're registered as a person with disability. You have the caste certificate. And how did you move on now to get into those infrastructures? Because I know you even, just to get the prosthetic, to move on and to get into those spaces. Who introduced you? How did you go about it?
Okay. When I was undergoing treatment in Uganda, that orthopedic, I came with his number. Phone number. So I called him to ask him what can be done. Why did he have to remove my hand? And he told me I needed some counseling. And he asked me if I could go back to Uganda.
Yeah.
They explained to me. Because I also needed a medical report from them. So I went back to Uganda after a few months. When I went back to Uganda, they referred me to a certain hospital in Uganda.
Yeah, oh, they are still.
Yeah. Can't recall it. So in that hospital, it's where they took measurements and whatnot. They decided to make the first.
Prosthetic, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not the first one.
This is not the first one. Nikapimwa mkono, nikalipa pesa. It wasn't free, it was a lot of money. I paid part of the money, and I completed as I was picking the hand now. Na nilipofika huku, nikakaa. I stayed for a long time because for the first whole year I could not walk, you know. I could not do anything for myself. That was the most difficult time in my life. Ni mimi mtu sikuzoea kukaa chini, sikuzoea kufanyiwa, ni mimi mtu sikuzoea kupewa, najifanyia, najipatia kila kitu. Sasa I'm there. Sasa hata nilipofika in my house now Kitale, nilikuwa naogopa hata watu kuniona. Sababu na feel ni kama mtu amefanya makosa, ni kama mtu amefanya nini. But bado nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu si kitu naweza sema ni rahisi. Healing is a process. Haikukuwa rahisi. Sometimes I could cry alone. Sometimes I console myself. It is well. The Lord knows why you had to go through this. You are a conqueror because you conquered. You are fighting with the... So, najaribu kukumbuka vile niliongea na yeye. Kwanza kutafuta vile nitafanya nini kupata hiyo registration. Nilikaa mwaka, nikakaa I think na mwaka mwingine. Kwa sababu nilikuja, that was 2009, nilikuja kupata 2015, ndio nilikuja
This is 8 years.
Ndio nilikuja kuregister kama. Ndio nilikuja kupata.
6 years.
Ndio nilikuja kupata
the NCPW.
Sababu sasa nilianza nikitembea, nikifika town nikipatana mtu mlemavu na muuliza.
Ulikuwa unawaona before?
Before.
Of course ulikuwa unaona, but ulikuwa unawaongelesha.
Okay, before sikuwa nawaongelesha. Kwanza nilikuwa naogopa sana, nilikuwa naona kama watu wako na ulemavu ni kama wakali sana. Nilikuwa naona kama wakiwa watu wakali sana. Hawana furaha. Sasa nikaanza kuwauliza, ulifanya aje? Kuna fanyikanga aje? Kuna mama mmoja akanielezea, tulikuwa na mama mmoja. Tulikuwa na yeye church. Anaitwa Dada Rose, ni marehemu sai. She passed on. That one, I think she's the one alinielezea what to do. Akaniambia unaenda hivi, unaanza hivi, utaenda kwa hiyo nafasi ya disability, hiyo ya Westlands, watakuguide, watakuambia cha kufanya.
Is it a hospital or an office?
It is an office hapo.
I know it. I know where it is.
Oh, you know where?
Barracks.
Njuguna hapo. Njuguna place. Njuguna place hapo.
Sini barracks alafu?
Imepakana naye. Hapo nikaenda, hapo ndio nilianzia. Ndio wakanielezea uende ufanye hivi na hivi. jaze forms. Uende kwa wakanirifaa ile hospitali nitaenda.
Are they the ones who gave you this prosthetic?
The second, yeah,
Yes.
this one now.
So this is more comfortable. They're the ones who made it for you. It became more comfortable. It fit more.
Ile ilikuwa imezeeka sasa, ilikuwa imechapa tayari. Hawezi kupatia kama bado uko na nini.
Okay.
Ile ilikuwa imepasuka pasuke imezeeka.
And it also had a funny material. Okay. So far, what are the strides that you have made? I know kuna challenges kama you've gone back, like you can travel once in a while. Okay, before COVID. Before COVID, maybe you used to, like you tried going back. Or have you changed businesses, changed your way of doing things?
Before COVID, yes, I tried going back. Niliposikia nimepona pona. Uko ndani yangu najiambia siwezi kukufa na umaskini, nimekaa chini. Lazima niamke nijitafutie kakitu hata kama haitakuwa kama ile, but at least niwe na kakitu kangu kwa mfuko. Pia niliona lazima uwe na vile unamejimudu. Sababu vile nilikuwa kabla nipata ajali na vile nilikuwa wakati nimekuwa hivi, mambo haikuwa the same. Even in my marriage.
Yeah, of course.
Hata bwanangu, mume wangu mwenyewe. Because I remember tukidischargewa Kampala on a wheelchair, he could not walk with us. He passed behind there hiding himself. Alafu anasimamia huko anatuitia huko.
I'm laughing
That
because
is,
I know the two characters. My point is maybe sisi wote tungeenda counseling. Maybe all of us we are just going to counseling.
Maybe. Ako kapicha siwezi kasahau. Pastor huko nyuma huko akasimamia huko akatungojea tumkuta hapo. He's a human being, siwezi kumlaumu sana hapo. But kila kitu kilibadilika. Lakini nilijaribu kurudi biashara. Hata people were shocked. Lakini wakazoea. Nilifanya kwa sababu nilikuwa na mambo ya kuangalia.
So, I have a question. Now that I know this, I know the house, like the retirement home that you guys are now living in was not, bado iko imejengwa by the time we were getting this accident. But I wonder whether, okay, I know me and you may not be the right people to comment on this, but do you feel like that house has included you in your challenges? Like, did you have to pick a side that favors you in terms of your bedroom space, where you sleep, how you do your things? Or your drawers are just the same drawers, utavuruta, utafunga, utafanya nini?
Wakati nilipata ajali sasa tumerudi mahali tulikuwa kwa ile nyumba.
We had not moved.
Ndio tumerudi nyumba ile tulikuwa, ndio nasema. Vitu vyote vimejengwa nikiwa hapa nikianza nazo. My bedroom, my current bedroom was not built by then. Tuliingia tu tukagawana sitting room, tukagawa bedroom ya chini kwa watoto. Na thank God watoto mlikuwa watu mjigawa makueni wengine. So hivyo ndivyo tulikaa tumejenga. So nilianza kuzoea pole pole. Though bado tu ulemavu ni ulemavu. Bado kuna ugumu. Mpaka saa hii naangukanga. Jikuta nimeanguka. Sasa una feel ni kama ubalance. So hakuna vile unaweza kuita. Saa ingine nikibeba kitu mzito mkono silali, nasikia ni kama inatokana huko. So ulemavu bado ni ulemavu. Ikikufikia hakuna vile utaita jina lingine.
So have you accepted though? Umefika mahali sasa umekubali. Have you accepted yourself the way you are? Everything, the lessons?
Accepting myself, yes. Na si once, you keep on accepting yourself every day. Accepting myself, it began right from the hospital. Unakumbuka kuna mzungu ambaye alikuja kwa our bed, akaniambia, because we are laughing, we are so happy, and to him he was like, why are we happy? So you remember akaja kuniambia, tell her, remind her, she will never,
like a hand is,
she will never have her hand again. She will find it in heaven. I was like, this is a pagan. You don't know my Christ can replace this hand if he wants me to have to. So nafikiri hiyo faith ya uenda wazimu ilinisaidia kiasi kuhili pia. Nakumbuka hata daktari walikuwa wananiambia, what do you eat? What do you use? At your age you are healing like a baby.
Yeah, remember.
Doctors walikuwa wanakuja wananiuliza, ni ile Mungu alitupatia, alitufunika, akatunyuma, akatuondolea huzuni, tukawa tunakaa na furaha. We could laugh the whole night, tunacheka, tukipata kitu kidogo tunafurahi, alafu kila mtu alikuwa anatujali. Tumesaraundiwa na watu, kila mtu anataka kutuhudumia sisi. The favor of God was upon us. So hiyo ilinisaidia kuheal.
Parting shots. Now that, for me, what I can maybe just say is, I remember how when most of your friends who are coming to visit you, your other business ladies, like people that you are working with, your friends, walikuwa nafika tu hivi kwa nyumba. Like I even knew the reaction. Like huyu atalia, alafu mwingine anambia mbona unalia nini, like everyone. So just the parting shot of that transition, how you were even encouraging them. Anambia wewe usinililie, mimi niko sawa nini. I remember it always used to come from you. So just an encouragement maybe to, you know, there are people who are living with disabilities who came, you know, maybe it was an accident or they were not born with it. Some people lose sight, some people lose other functions, any other part of their body. Yeah. So just encourage them.
Yeah. I'd like to encourage them because before I got this accident, I've done ABCD. I was a beautician by professional. I was a designer, and I used to use my 2 hands to do all these things. Yale nilikuwa na encourage watu, bado ilinisaidia kuwa encouraged. Kwamba hii ajali ilipofanyika, you remember there is a guy who boarded a bus who was to wed the following Saturday.
He died.
And he died there on the spot. Hii tulikuwa tunaambiwa kwa sababu yule MP anko alikuwa anakuja kutuangalia, bibi yake ndiye alikuwa mkubwa wa Mulago Hospital. So many casualties were taken to Mulago Hospital. And she used to tell us that almost all of them passed on. They died. So sisi ndiyo wanakuja kutuangalia huko na anatuambia mshukuru Mungu, nyinyi mko, Mungu anawapenda, mko sawa. Sasa nikawa naona kwani sisi tulimpatia nini Mungu sisi tuwe sawa. You remember in that very hospital tulikuwa na mgonjwa alikuwa analala kwa kitanda kwa kona pale, a young lady wa mtoto mmoja, alikuwa analetewa flowers, anakujua kuonwa na watu wakubwa. Na all of a sudden tukaambiwa she has passed. Na ikatuuma sana. Kwani huyu msichana amekufaje? Kulikuja commotion ya dakika moja, wakaleta mashini ya nini hapo.
She was taken to the ICU, eh?
Wakambeba, wakampeleka, mwisho wakatuambia. Na alikuwa tu mzuri kabisa. Mzuri hata ukiangalia sisi tulikuwa wagonjwa zaidi. So hii akanipatia moyo wa kujua kwamba kila kitu kinachofanyika kwa maisha ya mtu Mungu anajua. Yes, shetani amehurusiwa kutujaribu na kutufanyia madhara, but God is on our side. Na anaacha kila mtu apitie kwa ile jambo analowezana na imani, linalo balance na imani yake. So mtu asikasirikie Mungu, aone Mungu alikuwa wapi, kwa sababu watu walikuwa wananichallenge, wananiuliza hivi, haki na vile unapenda Mungu, na vile unapenda kuombea watu, mbona Mungu hakukusaidia? Such a questions. Utaulizwa, utasikia, utakuwa mocked, but kile kitu unafaa kujua, wewe you are better than those who died. Ndio kabaki ukiwa mzima. You are better than watu wengi sana. So ukienda kulaumu Mungu, kumbuka kuna wale walikufa. Na walikuwa better than you. Walikuwa na vyote vile. Na walikufa. Wewe umebakia. So shukuru kwa kile umebakisha nacho.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I hope you've taken away something from everything that you've had. I know I've had a really good time. Thank you, Mom, for coming. Thank you for sharing with us your story. And it's interesting that I'm also just, of course, it's also my experience. I'm experiencing all this. It's also happening to me. So thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and have a good one.